years of LCS experience in the top lane, Shorter Race at jungle, Rovex in the mid lane, Evan RL at AD carry, and Shady, formerly TSM Shady, Phoenix 1 Shady, making a pop-up back here at support as we get ourselves into the picks and bans.
Yeah, so immediately we see an Aatrox ban and a Karthus ban. Very common. For those of you guys that don't know why people are banning Karthus, Karthus has been crazy insane right now. Due to the return of Funnel, being able to get additional gold even when you do have jungle items, you're able to just farm up a storm and be almost like unable to deal with. Karthus' ultimate damage is guaranteed, and so is his E damage, and any kind of slow makes it that your Q damage is guaranteed. He's just an incredibly hard champion to deal with at the moment.
Well, I'm glad to see the Akali ban coming out of the Dream Team here. We've seen how Akali can move around in the shadow and just be quite busted, and we heard Hashinshin complain about it and complain about it and complain about it a little bit earlier, and hopefully teams will learn from that. What it does leave up is the Lucian, and so far throughout this tournament, Lucian has not lost a single game. However, the Dream Team of the memes will be picking Lissandra first.
Yeah, Lissandra, really flexible pick, can go either top or mid. Shifter and Boy both very well versed in those champions. And we have QtPie, known for his level 2 Power Spike tutorial on Lucian. If you do see a Lucian from QtPie, I'm going to be expecting a lot.
Waiting for this next pick here. Nintendude has the lot. We think it'd be a Lucian here. Lucian has been going early. And no, it's going to be Caitlyn. Evan RL did have pro experience, has played pro. He played in Latin America North for Havoc Toys after his successful North American collegiate career at Maryville University that finished with the 2017 Collegiate Championship with Maryville. He was the all-star representative at the AD carry role for Latin America North. He's going to get to show off his chops with Caitlyn. And the final pick here, Yuck Youngie, just for clarification, is Shorter Race. Shorter Race has been around in the scene for quite some time, did spend some time in Osh with good old Tainted Minds. He's going to be play Olaf.
Yeah, it looks like they're going more for comfort than I would say meta picks. I mean, then again, what is even meta nowadays? Like Caitlyn, Olaf, not very common champions, not something we've seen a lot, so I'm excited for it.
Next pick coming up is Nightblue, and Nightblue hovering over the Kazakhs might be picking for himself, and yep, he will. Kazakhs, Nightblue, those two go hand in hand, along with dying and complaining on stream, but either way, he'll be having his opportunity to play Kazakhs.
And being Hearthstuck D5. So right now there's a mastery called Dark Harvest that we all know about. It does additional damage when you're able to damage someone when they're below 50% HP. And with Kazakhs, the isolation Q combined with Dark Harvest makes him an incredibly strong assassin. We're going to be seeing a lot of Kazakhs, Lissandra, and Pyke now locked in, trying to kill Caitlyn all game long.
So next couple pick coming in, it will be Pyke, and we got to see in practice earlier, now that he's picked it, I don't mind sharing this, QtPie was playing Pyke at the bot lane role, not an AD carry per se with the long range, but an AD champion that did have execution and can snowball once he gets ahead. And with this 8.23 meta, there's a lot of gold on the map that can lead to snowballing, as we see the counter for Gucci Gang will be Morgana.
So Morgana, while there are some aspects of her that does counter Pyke well, her Q, her ult, her spell shield, I think it's more so she's a really great duo with Caitlyn. Something you can do is whenever you land a Morgana bind, you're actually able to stack Caitlyn trap on top of it and basically keep someone snared for up to 5 seconds.
So we'll get to see if the CC will help Gucci Gang find themselves a victory in this first quarterfinal matchup against the Dream Team.
So they're banning out Lucian.
Yeah,
but
Lucian
they think
coming out.
they're banning Lucian, thinking they're locking Cutie out of his favorite pick. But as we talked about, there's a very high chance Pyke actually goes AD and Scar plays something else for support. I'm very excited to see what Dream Team ends up doing.
Ezreal is a AD carry that was played earlier. We got to see a single game of Jhin as well, not to quite a lot of success. It was Jhin into Lucian. Lucian kind of ran a train over that. So last ban will be Sivir here. So QtPie getting targeted a bit since Gucci Gang already picked their AD carry in Caitlyn. On the opposite side, Cassidy, no scaling for Rovex for Gucci Gang. Let's see what the Dream Team will try to ban out here. What do you think they're going to ban out here, and what do you think they might prioritize on the side of Gucci Gang?
Looks like they're banning out mid champions that do well versus Lissandra. Like Kassadin's a champion that does well versus Lissandra mid. And then banning Kennen. I'm not too familiar with Nintendo's champ pool, but I'm going to consider it a target ban. Boy's someone that likes to play a lot of unorthodox champions, and to be able to do that, you need to get certain champs out of the pool. Most importantly, Aatrox, Irelia, Akali, and Kennen, once out of the pool, also opens up a lot for top lane.
All right, Kennen taken out here. So Cutie Pie, we did see him. Well, we prefaced it earlier. Cutie Pie not having A tier AD carries. Oh, there's an A tier KD carry. It's going to be Draven in the hands of Cutie Pie. And Cutie Pie loves to play aggressively. We see him all the time on stream. He doesn't play for fun. He likes to run it down no matter what, regardless if he's getting kills or not. Last pick going to be rounded out is Rise, and that's going to be in the mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, they could flex it either way. Lissandra or Rise either can go top or mid. We'll figure out who goes where. But this Cassiopeia pick does incredibly well into both solos, into Rise, into Lissandra. It's going to be a really core pick, and how well that Cassiopeia does is going to determine a lot. I'm pretty confident that she's going to be taking Cleanse, great versus both Rise and Lissandra. I think it's really going to be up to this Rise and Caitlyn backline to be able to carry this team.
Got the final pick there for Nintendude, and you know, Nintendude's a guy that's just been around in the scene for such a long time. He was actually in scouting grounds last year after taking a bit of a hiatus to get his health right, was picked up by CLG, bounced around a little bit, I believe played in Echo Fox Academy last split. And here's an opportunity for a veteran to show off his skill in a different role than what he made his name in playing. He originally played as a jungler, now heading to the top side of the map, and will be playing the Urgot against Rise matchup. So excuse me from earlier, Rise heading to the top side of the map. What do you think about these team compositions overall so far? Who has scaling, who wins early? What do you think there, Loco?
I think we actually got pretty normal comps. I'm pretty surprised we got both Caitlyn and Draven actual AD carries being played, and not too many things that are wonky. One thing I do want to touch on that you mentioned about Nintendude getting...
All right, short break, lined up and ready to go. Welcome back to the Tyler1 Championship Series here. It's the third series. We're going to get to see who gets to play against the returning champions, Tim E. Turner, already waiting to the finals. Will it be the meme team, or will it be Gucci Gang? We'll get to find out here, as it looks like there's a little bit of shenanigans here, and Boy going to be in a lot of trouble, forced to flash over the wall right away.
Yeah, so Dream Team actually was scrimming yesterday, and it was a very public scrim, so teams got to see a lot of what they do. It looks like Red Team has something prepped just for that, and they're able to burn Boy's flash right away.
So Boy will be in that top side matchup against Nintendude X without the flash. A little difficult. Both top laners will be having teleport, along with Shifter in the mid lane with teleport. Let's take a look at some of these keystones. One of the big ones that has changed and jumped out, you touched on it earlier, is Dark Harvest. Only one Dark Harvest in this game, and it's on Night Blue.
There aren't that many great Dark Harvest users outside of Kha'Zix in this game, so it's not that surprising. I mean, we saw Rise a few games ago run Dark Harvest and have Wings complain about how he procced it once or twice the whole entire game, so yeah, that wasn't the greatest. Also, one thing we can see is Olaf is running Predator, and he's gonna do this Predator pass. It's very infamous Predator pass, popularized by the #1 jungler in Korean right now, Tarzan. It's you take Wolf, and then you take your major camp, and then you take your Gromp, and then you're able to recall and have boost and a pink ward and gank immediately. I would love to see him do that pass, take those 3 camps back, get his Predator boost, and gank Boy who just burned his flash.
Evan RR getting hooked, and this was one of the matchups you talked about earlier, keeping your space away. If you're Caitlyn, you pick that Caitlyn to maximize your range and poke away, chunk them down, and have a nice juicy target for that Olaf that you were talking about to get in and help gank. So we'll keep an eye on that matchup so far. Jungler still on the same side of the map, starting on the bottom sides. Evan RL getting bone skewered yet again. Likes the bone, will be forced to back up a little bit. But so far, those junglers not full clearing yet. Want to make sure they get everything on the bottom side of the map, or quick clearing. They're full clearing the bottom side of the map, getting wards down in the scuttle, actually heading on over to shorter race first.
It looks like Shorter Ace isn't doing the Predator pass, but more so a full clear. And that's kind of okay too. So for mid lane, we have to talk about we have to talk about Lissandra and Aftershock. Lissandra and Aftershock is such a disgusting combo right now. Aftershock granting you up to 70 armor and MR in the early game whenever you are able to CC someone. It basically makes her unkillable. It's such a insane and honestly a disgusting mastery to take on Lissandra. Allows her to be incredibly tanky in team fights without building any kind of armor or MR items.
Yeah, just the survivability of the Lissandra has shown her.
Oh, we have an invade
pop a little bit further up. Yeah, on the top side of the map, Shorter Ace not only wins the scuttle, but now gets both scuttles and the blue buff, and left alone is Night Blue, without a blue buff, no help from his top laner, and he wasn't able to help because Voyboy blew his flash earlier.
Yeah, I mean, it came down to a one-on-one smite fight, and Shorter Ace was able to win it. It is actually incredibly bad for Kha'Zix to be able to, to lose those buffs early, since he gave up both Scuttle. Like, losing a blue early there is going to give Shorter Ace a great lead in the jungle.
So for a lot of these viewers here, you know Shady, spent some time on TSM Academy, had a nice run there for Phoenix 1. Evan RL, we covered it, collegiate champion. Shorter Ace, spent time in Tainted Minds overseas and played in multiple challenger teams, and Nintendo X, the longest tenured guy there. But Rovex, not a lot of people know a lot about this guy. Rovex played for Columbia College for collegiate, and then actually went international as well to Latin America North and played for a team there. And so far, kind of given Shifter the business in the mid lane. We've talked about that survivability for Shifter, but so far it's been neck and neck in terms of CS, and we saw Rovex able to shove Shifter into the turret. So we'll keep an eye on that mid lane matchup.
Yeah, I'm going to defend Shifter a little bit here. The matchup isn't that great for Lissandra. It is fine earlier on, but later the game goes, it gets worse and worse. And also, his jungler got out jungle pretty heavily, lost both Scuttle, and also lost the blue. So he is going to be getting pushed in, and he can't play the lane to push out like he wants to, I'd imagine.
So with Yuck getting that full clear, Shorter Ace getting that full clear and able to steal the buff and get both scuttles, is he just going to power farm to 6? Is that now the game plan because he already knows Night Blue is pretty far behind?
Yeah, for Olaf, it's just hard to gank Lissandra and Ryze earlier on. I mean, your lanes are Cassiopeia and Urgot. The Urgot Ryze lane would be the only one you can gank, but Voyboy's just getting pushed in 24/7, so the gank isn't happening. So I would imagine Shorter Ace power farms till level 6, and maybe we'll see a big play around top lane, or maybe for the dragon.
A lot of the other casters talked about it a bit. Now that things are kind of slowing down, let's talk about the turret plating. Turret plating now, you get 5 different chunks on each tower. If you chunk that little bit of health off, you get added gold. It's 160 gold divided by the champions that are there. But on the flip side, towers are now doing more damage to champions, so it's scarier to dive, and also turrets have more armor. So lane-dominant champions seem to be the way to go, and both teams right now, although there was that early flash and the lead by the junglers, both teams are just kind of feeling each other out, and no one's really shoving one team into the turret enough to get damage onto the turret.
If any lane, I would imagine it be bot lane, getting the red side bot lane, Caitlyn and Morgana, taking turret plating off of blue side, but it is incredibly scary to push against a Pyke and a Draven. One mistake means you're just going to lose the entirety of lane.
Yeah, did you see Cutie do it all by himself because Scar was a little bit further behind. Able to chunk out Evan RL. And
how do you think Scar arrived at playing support? Do you think they drew sticks, or is Scar an actual good support?
Skara, I've seen Skara talk earlier. He was actually on the stream with Mark Z and just Toast earlier. He said I just woke up, had like a cup of coffee or something like that, and he was saying sometimes I just get bored. It gets boring if it's always the same champions. And so when he's dominating the mid lane at all times on stream and just raking in the cash, like, I'm sure it gets boring. So maybe he was like, hey, let me play some Pyke. You know, I can miss a bone skewer here or there and the game won't break and I won't get bored. And I don't think it was straws. I think he's just a selfless, great guy that wants to play support for his team and lead them to victory through his shot calling, because it would be too easy if he did it through sheer mechanics.
What a nice guy Skara. While we were talking,
Skara.
Red team was able to take the dragon. So can you tell us a little bit about the dragon changes that happened in the preseason?
I will, after we see Cutie Pie able to flash away there. Shady trying to find the binding, wasn't able to do it. So a little bit of pressure there now put on by the red side. And again, they are able to do that because Night Blue fell behind. Not a lot of pressure on the map. But Skara now saying, hey, I'm going to take this game into my hands, gets the ultimate, and forces the flash out by Evan RL. So Skara saying, hey, I'm playing support, but I can still carry.
Yeah, Evan RL, a little bit too aggro there, and losing Flash as Caitlyn in this lane is just so incredibly bad. And Scar's still able to hold his Flash for the next play I expect is Shifter roaming bot lane.
Yep, Shifter going into the mid lane. Frozen Tomb onto Rovex. That's why he brought Cleanse, slow things down. The TP was started by Nintendo, but I suppose it was canceled by Voyboy because you can't cancel your TP anymore. So Voyboy helping out his teammates by stopping the TP.
Yeah, now
but before all that action, we're talking about the Dragon. So Dragon, Mountain Drake, all the Drakes except the Infernal Drake got massive buffs, almost 50% more on the first Dragon. And so with the first Mountain Drake, that gives you an additional percent damage that you do to the turrets. And with the changes to turrets, that helps a ton because turrets are much tankier if you don't have that.
Now you want a variety of dragon, because each single dragon means so much, so seeing Mountain, Air, and Inferno all come up separately is always great. But then again, you just want to see 3 Infernos, but you're not going to get that all the time.
Now, fortunately, this game's been a little bit more metered and tempered than our other fiestas that we got to watch. And so at 9:30 here, still 0-0, we might see our first chunk of the turret. Here on the bottom side of the map is Cutie Pie and Skara all the way up to the turret. On the top side, Nintendo already has 2 of those chunks. That's 160, 320? 320. Not supposed to do math on broadcast, but whatever. 320 in the pockets of Nintendo, who's leading the way 98-77. A big discrepancy there on the top side of the map.
Remember what we talked about AD carries not being very fun or good to play right now? Just by Lissandra just moving to bot side, they have to give up multiple waves and back up because they're so afraid of the die. She doesn't even have to commit to it. Just by her moving, the Caitlyn Morgana are in such a shitty spot. They both don't have flashes and it's such a dangerous spot to be in, and they have to give up so much just by Lissandra looking a little bit to bot lane.
Oh, Flash Frozen Tomb. This gives Night Blue the way in. Rovex flashes forwards, get the ultimate down, holds Night Blue in place, will walk himself out, but now he's walking the wrong way. Let's see how he does the do-si-do. All the while, though, Voyboy will be roaming down. Not sure if he's going to be able to get out. Night Blue is still tracking and might just go for the self-kill here. Will he be able to do it? Flash forward. Oh, Night Blue with the walkaway misses, and he looks like a dummy because it's just a slain. No one picks up that kill. Nice play there by Rovex.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't your typical D5 game. All the players know not to give up gold, and he was actually able to buy a lot of time by running away. And as we talked about, Lissandra has a new passive now. It's no longer getting a free spell every now and then, so she does run into mana problems like this.
So the execute means no gold, maybe some experience because Night Blue was nearby, but no first blood gold. Flash is burned on both Night Blue and Shifter just for Rovex, so that gives Shorter Ace an opportunity to gank with his flash up and the opposing jungler not having it.
Daniel, where can we expect to see the action next? What's going to happen?
Dragon has just spawned, will be spawning soon. We take a peek down there. It is the Infernal Drake. Everybody loves themselves the Infernal Drake. More damage.
Infernal Drake does a little bit strange things to teams where they tend to over-prioritize it when they're not in position. It's such a funny dragon. Whenever it comes up, I always see probably the worst to play from both teams.
Look at what is your favorite Drake to pick up?
I love taking Ocean Drake early. Taking Ocean Drake early means just across all 3 lanes, you get so much regen. Now with the changes, we have Night Blue jumping in.
Yep, Night Blue jumping in. Grounded will find a little bit of piece of land that isn't grounded. Oh, and the undertow is more than enough. And Night Blue, not having flash earlier, takes it straight to the face. It's first blood to Gucci Gang.
Yeah, really great job by Even RL to come down and actually shoot the Caitlyn ult. I think most AD carries would have stayed bot lane and taken the farm, but he was able to move with his team and pick up that kill.
of Gucci Gang finding first blood here. They did spend a decent amount of time on the bottom side of the map. That leaves Voyboy on the top side able to get a little bit of farm, but he has almost like a 20 CS discrepancy because of that flash that was burned earlier.
So right now the gold difference is only what, 1.4, 1.5k, so it might not seem that the red team is that ahead, but these Inferno Drake and Mountain Drake are so valuable later in the game, and they help so much with scaling. So right now, not too big of a deal, but as we get later and later into the game with late game champions like Cassio and Caitlyn, it's going to mean a lot.
Yeah, but here comes Scar, ready to deal some damage. The flash forward will not get the undertow, not getting the stun. Will go with the ultimate anyways. Nice trap down, keeps Evan RL in place. Little bit of damage returned backwards. Cutie Pie is a little low. Evan RL realizes he's gonna get dove. Shifter will take one tower shot, will take a second tower shot, but there's not enough tower shots to save Evan RL. Down he goes, and it's 2-2.
Even though Caitlyn got ahead in lane, this is what I mean. Like, there's just so much engaged tools in the Pyke where it becomes really dangerous, even with a defensive support like Morgana. Now we have the two teams racing for the first turret. Red team almost has it in mid lane. Blue team almost has it in bot. Who's going to get it first? Oh, red team doesn't have a wave. It looks like it's going to be the meme team getting the first turret.
Yep, so meme team falling behind early and then having the gold. Bang even. Shout out to Joe Miller. At 22-8, almost 22-8. All right, maybe it wasn't bang even, but it was close. And 2-2 here at 15 minutes. However, because all of that pressure in the mid lane and the stream team had to go on the bottom side of the map and put multiple resources there, that forces Voyboy off the top side of the map. Nintendo knows that. He takes the turret on the top.
Yeah. Mean team actually playing it out a little bit strange. I know Voyboy loves getting played to, and when you have a champion like Ryze, you want to use your W. You can set up for ganks really well. I'm just very curious how NightBlue didn't end up ganking top lane at once, but then again, he had his hands full just by playing with the other jungler this game, in my opinion.
That's right. So, Shorter Ace getting the best of NightBlue so far, 91-68. Jungle difference so far, helping out Gucci Gang find their lead. In the mid lane, the gold lead, or the gold discrepancy is based off of a lot of the pressure that Cassiopeia was supposed to get. Interesting, though, that there's a bounty, because the new bounty system says that if you're so much further ahead on the winning team, you'll still pick up a bounty regardless if you have a kill streak or not. So there is a little bit of bounty on Rovex's head. Scara face checking on a Nintendo. Nintendo realizes maybe in a little bit of trouble. Cutie Pie walking up and will be able to back off his Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo now also has a bounty, and now that the bounties are actually marked and you can see how many people are Lysandra might die here.
Yep. Lysandra might die here. Trap on the TP to Voyboy, but he doesn't care. Unstoppable. He's actually stopped. Shorter Ace goes down. Scara picking that one up, asserting his dominance as the carry of the stream team. It's 3-2.
Yeah, I mean, talking a little bit about the bounties, now that it's marked and you can see how much people are going to give up when they die, you ping the hell out of someone whenever they have a bounty over 400. I can tell you, Mean Team's screaming right now. We got to kill the Cassio, we got to kill the Ergot, and we got to get those 1,000 gold back.
On top of the fact that Cutie hasn't gotten a kill yet. He hasn't cashed in on all those Draven Adoration stacks, has all those fans every time he catches an axe, almost a single fan for as many viewers as we have so far in this Tyler1 Championship Series quarterfinal match. Oh, and the Glacial Path, Shifter will take it, but does he take it to his death? He uses the Frozen Tomb to stay alive for a little bit longer, but the Fear Beyond Death with the flash forward by Nintendo keeps him down. Cutie Pie trying to stay alive. Will he help? No, he won't have the health seal. He goes down, and it's a double kill. Unlucky for Cutie Pie.
GG next. 15 FF? I'm surprised there's no question mark kings going down. Mean team, but that was such a well-played fight from Nintendo. Shifter almost got in there, was able to flash Tomb, but no one else could go in after him.
Well, we touched on it earlier. Their scrims were pretty public, so if we know one thing about this stream team, they know how to play from behind, so I wouldn't be surprised if they find themselves mounting a comeback in a little bit.
It's not that they know how to play from behind, they only play from behind.
Thank you for explaining. 17 minutes and 25 seconds here, 4-3, Gucci Gang. The I wouldn't say the crowd favorite, but a team that does have some established veterans and people that have been playing pro. I was talking to Nintendo X earlier. He was saying, hey, look, you know, Evan RL was an all-star, has international experience. Shorter Ace survived Tainted Minds. I'm looking up at these guys trying to get to their level, and Nintendo X has done that so far. 2-0-0, 700 gold bounty so far for him.
Yeah, now looks like they're setting up to take this Earthstrike. I don't think.
Oh no, Cutie! Oh no, Cutie! He gets baited.
What are you doing?
He gets baited by the stopwatch.
Cutie, you need that kill.
Oh no! Voyboy wanted to get in and be the savior. Might be in a little bit of trouble. Shady goes down, but Voyboy does as well. And now Nightblue caught between a rock and a hard place. Oh, ultimate from Scarra not going to land, but the Ignite will. He will find one kill, or will he? He won't. Will he? Yes, he stays alive, and Evan RL with the health steal stays on his feet.
Oh, lifesteal, and what's that mastery? Oh, I can't.
Triumph.
Triumph, lifesteal from Doran's sword, and Triumph just barely allowed it to lead.
So things went from bad to worse here. It looked like it was a little bit more of a recoverable situation for the stream team, and they try to be proactive and make that play there, but they end up losing that whole sequence of events, 1-3, plus the second Mountain Drake. As we know, these Drakes now spawn a little bit more frequently with the patch changes instead of 6 minutes as every 5 minutes. And so double Drake means turrets will be going down faster. The next Drake coming up is Infernal Drake.
Yeah, with these Drakes being so valuable, and Stream Team, they just can't give it up, and they have to constantly walk into them to fight. It's just not looking that great for them. I don't think they have a way to kill the Cassiopeia, and Caitlyn at this point. Cassiopeia protected by her Banshee, she still has her cleanse, and Caitlyn can just get marked by Morgana and her spell shield, and she becomes incredibly hard to kill.
Now it has to be the way of picks using the Bone Skewer. Scarra will land that onto Olaf. But nothing more after that, and you could see the synergy falling apart there. Look at the Blast Cone. They're just separating the team at, it seems, Nightblue and Voyboy not on the same page there. And it's catastrophic, and here goes a binding, landing onto Nightblue. Rovex trying to wrap around the corner. Will not, and just, you can see the Vision Wars on the top side of the map is dragging the rest of the Dream Team all around the map, and that leaves Nintendo X yet again for almost his second turret, all alone, to hack away at it.
Yeah, they kind of have them in a really awkward position where they can get vision around Baron and threaten Baron at any time. Cassiopeia and Caitlyn will shred through Baron, while they still have Nintendo pushing bottom, putting on pressure, and still being an incredibly hard champ to deal with.
So Vision takeover back for the Dream Team. You see just kind of that crescent of control wards on the top side of the map after the blue buff was taken by Nightblue. There in several of those bushes. And it seems like the game will slow down a bit. The dragon won't be spawning for, I think, another 2 minutes. So yeah, it should be the next objective. This game has been a lot slower than what we've watched before. Why do you think that is?
I think both teams play a little bit more controlled and play a little bit more slower. And they at least play coordinated and they aren't as wild. And I think it comes also down to the junglers. So last series, the junglers were very, very aggressive and proactive about getting things done, while Nightblue and Shorter Ace took more of defensive path things to fight around Scuttle and get their farms up.
Let's take a look at some of the items. Although Cutie Pie has died twice and wasn't able to stack in, he does have 2 core items in both the Bloodthirster and Stormrazor. On the opposite side, it's Stormrazor and Rapid Fire Cannon for Evan RL, but look at this damage here. They're going to start going for Baron because they have the double Mountain Drake. Players are out of position. Nightblue hops in early, able to dodge the Cassiopeia ult, but now he's getting the focus. Able to flash away. No, he's not. Down he goes. Evan RL picks that one up, but there's no smite now in the turret, and the Baron, it is picked up by Nintendo X. He stays alive. Voyboy trying to slow down Nintendo X, trying to protect his backline, but Nintendo X runs all over the Draven. Down he goes. Nintendo now trying to get himself out. Voyboy and Shifter on the chase. It is a 4v2. Voyboy might be biting off a little bit more than he can chew. Flashes forward, picks up the kill on the Cassiopeia and the shutdown, but he eventually goes down. Now Evan RL might be walking forward to another kill. No, he gets away. Overall, huge victory here for Gucci Gang. They're going to be calling it Gucci Gang. It's 12-6.
They have 3 people alive with Baron, and they were able to kill team fight. Night Blue did a great job of jumping in and dodging the Cassia ult, and with both junglers dying so early, it came down to a 50-50 for Baron with anyone able to take it.
So huge play there. It was risky at first, and Night Blue did what he had to do. No vision there. All those control wards, and just look at that map in front of Baron right now. No vision. He had to hop in, and as soon as he did, like the pros that Gucci Gang are, they turned, they knew who to focus. No one really freaked out. However, Shorter Ace held on to Smite for a very long time in that fight. Baron was around like 200 health for about like half a second to a second. And luckily enough, Nintendo X, the veteran, trying to be like these other guys that have been playing internationally, finding success, was the one that picks it up. 4-0-2, everyone is on Mr. Atkins' back right now.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about how stompy this game was, but at that Baron, if Red Team, if their crucial members died, if Caitlyn died, if Urgot died, if Blue Team got Baron, the goal swing would have been something like 3k, 4k goal swing just from that Baron fight. So, yeah, these Baron fights are so crucial to outcomes of the game.
You know, a great segment earlier from our good friend Disguised Toast was patch notes with Disguised Toast. I'm going to take a note from him. As the game gets later, the minions not only move faster, but do more damage to turrets, and the turrets become less durable past 14 minutes. And so with Baron buff and minions streaming down in multiple lanes, Gucci Gang is in a great spot. And what that does is it makes it even harder for a comeback mechanic. So if you're the side of the stream team and you're trying to keep your dream alive, what is your play here, Loco?
I mean, Night Blue did get a steal on Inferno. If they can hold out with this Baron and allow Red Team to not take a single turret, looks like that's not going to happen though. They're already up in top inhibitor, and I don't see them fading that.
No, down goes that top inhibitor indeed. Minions able to be staved off in the mid lane for a little bit, but that Baron's still pretty fresh. Will continue to pile on minions on the top side of the map, and the stream team will have to back off. Ooh, Glacial Path not going to be taken here by Shifter. Skara might be in a little bit of trouble, able to use the Undertow to get himself out of trouble, but the inhibitor does go down. The mission has been accomplished for Gucci Gang.
Yep, they have a little bit left on their Barons. They might be able to get another siege going mid. If they take this mid inhibitor, the game's going to be pretty set.
So the fan favorites so far have their back up against the wall. Second turret goes down. Nice rotation and wave manipulation by Gucci Gang to take the bottom inhibitor, then rotate to the mid, and have Mr. Atkins on the bottom side of the map, taking it to Boy Boy. And the Boy will have trouble trying to defend against the bottom open inhib. And now Nintendo getting some nice damage down. The full rotation coming out of the rest of the team. No Baron buff, no problem. The longer that they stall on the bottom side of the map, the more super minions will stream into the base.
Yeah, but one thing they have to realize is they have about 1k to 1.5k gold on everyone unspent. Red Team, I don't want to see them be greedy here. Back it up a little, spend your gold, and then finish this push.
Oh, a flash forward by Shorter Ace doing exactly what you didn't want. Shifter goes in, uses the tomb on himself, then using the Zonias to buy some time. Nintendo popping Stone Plate very low onto the back line. Here's Night Blue, but he's only going to find one. Here comes a reset. Skara, can you be that savior? Teleporting forward is both Cutie Pie and Boy Boy. Skara still alive, does have the reset. Boy Boy not getting the damage. Cutie gonna go ahead and int, but the team does clean it up.
Oh my god.
2 staying alive for the Dream Team and the ace against Gucci Gang.
These monkeys! I told them about spending their gold. They had at least 1k in everyone, some people all the way up to 1.5k or even 2k, and they decided to not spend their gold and take that team fight.
And it all started with Skara on the early flank, pressuring around the side. Rovex throws down the gas and held him in place, and for whatever reason, I think Shorter Ace got flashbacks of Australia, flash forward into a Void Boy's pike that's able to just undertow away and then go invisible. That left the whole team open, and Shifter took a great advantage of that.
Yeah, I mean, they had one shot at coming back at the game, which is when they're vulnerable, when they don't have Baron up, and they lost some of their cooldowns and HP from sieging, and they have all that gold, and Meme Team was able to strike at the right time and deny them that back. It was super crucial to this game continuing.
I think one big unfortunate thing that is lost on a lot of that, you touched on it a little bit earlier, we had Cutie Pie just kind of like run into them because he's like, I gotta cash these adoration stacks, man. I need to get that mad Skrilla. And unfortunately, he just walked forward to his death and lost all of his Skrilla. No Skrilla for Cutie Pie, and he's back at square one. He does have a Zeal completed, but doesn't have that completed rapid fire cannon. And again, oddly enough, he's not that far behind in terms of items against Evan RL, as Skara will get chunked out a bit there. Ace in the hole will get him below half. He'll heal up because of his passive, but look at this vision on the side of Gucci Gang. They got their priorities on point.
Starting Baron again.
Baron
Ethiopia, Caitlyn,
on their eye. Yep,
the
there it is. Baron just goes down easy peasy. And again, there's not really a way in for Dream Team. They're too far behind. They don't have enough money to spend onto the Baron, although it's only like a 4,500 gold lead. No inhibs. Baron powered super minions going down.
You remember that Licorice flank where he went all the way around to behind Gambit on Lissandra and was able to turn the team? Shifter might be able to do something similar here.
We'll keep an eye on
Shifter. He's looking for an angle.
He gave away his position, now goes in, flashes forward, gets 3, held in position, flashing forward is Void Boy, and here goes the damage, immediately going down to Scar, so no resets there. Down goes Night Blue. Keep your eye on Cutie Pie, now he's one of the main damage dealers. Nintendo and Void Boy trying to go 1v4. That's not the right decision, young man. Down he goes and he gets shut down. The push is not over yet. It's 4v2. Cutie Pie still hasn't cashed in, able to pick up the rapid fire cannon, but with super Baron empowered minions, it's going to be very difficult for him to defend.
Yeah, I mean, Cutie Pie hasn't gotten a single kill this game. He hasn't been able to proc his passive. It's like almost playing without a passive.
Yeah, the two former members of Dignitas trying their best, but their best is not enough. They will go down. 2 people held in place by Shifter, but that's going to be all she wrote for game 1 of this quarterfinals. An upset, dare we say, in the making? I don't know, but Gucci Gang staking their claim to why they are here. They go up 1-0 against the Dream Team.
Yeah, there was the brief period where we could have raced our dongers, but unfortunately we're going to have to lower them due to this loss.